Joe Biden did an interview with CNN yesterday, and I've got to tell you, it was kind of spicy. He talked about the economy, he talked about Gaza, and of course, he talked about Trump. One thing that I found particularly interesting was that he made a subtle prediction about the 2024 election and the aftermath that he expected to ensue. And we're going to talk about it. Erin Burnett from CNN did the interview with Joe. It was a one-on-one Q&A format, pretty standard. She asks a question, gives him a lot of room to answer the question the way he wants to. When she focused on jobs, Biden was pretty aggressive in his comments about what he's done and what Trump hasn't done. According to Biden, Trump has never fulfilled any of his promises related to jobs. And Biden also went further in saying that Trump lost more jobs than he created in his 4-year term. Found that kind of interesting and very specific. Erin went a little bit further in talking about the economy and inflation. Biden's comments really focused on kind of where things are going. Now, he did say that when you look at where things are versus where things could have been, which is his perspective, things are not as bad as people were expecting them to be at this time. Now, as far as the health landscape goes, Biden made some very specific accusations that I found interesting to hear. Number one, he said that Trump knowingly underrepresented how severe COVID was. Found that curious. And number two, he talked about healthcare kind of today and said that Trump's plan was going to be to increase healthcare costs by eliminating Obamacare, which basically was going to make Medicare a lot more expensive. Now, once we started talking about the war on the Gaza Strip, Erin started asking questions about Rafah, which is a segment of Palestine. Her idea was that the U.S. is providing bombs to Israel that are being used on civilian targets in Rafah. In other words, the U.S. is helping Israel to kill civilians in Rafah. And Joe said, look, problems have happened and we have shut down some of the supply and we've added more oversight because we don't want our weapons to be used on civilian sites. So he was acknowledging that there had been some problems, but they were addressing those. Joe said something that was kind of weird, and rather than try to interpret it for you, I'm just going to play it. Let's see what you think when you hear it.
Quote, if everything's honest, I'd gladly accept the results of the election. And then he continued, though, with this. If it's not, you have to fight for the right of the country. How seriously do you take that threat?
Seriously, just like I did on January 6th. The guy is not a Democrat with a small d.
Okay, quick show of hands. Whose first thought when they heard that was that he was talking about genitalia? I know that's what I thought. It took me a while to realize that he wasn't making a low blow. Here's why I found that statement so curious. Biden was basically saying that he expected to win the election. He wasn't saying that Trump wouldn't accept the results if he lost. He was basically saying Trump wouldn't accept the election results when he lost. Overall, I think it was a great interview. I encourage everybody to go take a look. Links in the description.